Welcome back to The Explainer. We are diving right into week 33 with a massive chronological recap. Today, we're unpacking OpenAI's latest safety measures, Meta's huge open-source pivot, and the absolute surge of Grok. The AI landscape is shifting right under our feet, and as you'll see today, the frontier is moving unbelievably fast. So, let's get into it.
Right off the bat, I want you to ask yourself, what do gym hackers, a personalized dog cancer vaccine, and digital AI turf wars all have in common? Well, they aren't science fiction. They are all very real, very current examples of the wild, escalating capabilities of AI agents that we've seen literally just this past week. We're completely moving past the era of AI as a simple chatbot. We're talking about autonomous actors in the real world.
Section 1. Safety breaks and jailbreaks. OpenAI, Astra, and Moonshot AI.
So, anchoring the start of our week, OpenAI officially pulled the safety brakes on their highly anticipated new Astra model. Under Sam Altman's preparedness framework, Astra, which is heavily rumored to be GPT-6, was just designated as a critical cybersecurity risk. Why? Because it recently solved 10 significant open math and computer science problems. A critical rating means it has the potential to find and create zero-day bugs, those previously unknown, highly dangerous security flaws, or even carry out cyber attacks with zero humans in the loop. Because of that, Altman said, hold on, we need to slow down. They are pausing certain internal activities, cranking up security restrictions, and sending it off for deeper government testing. Now, this perfectly highlights the massive divide in AI security right now. While closed labs like OpenAI can hold a model back and patch it, we're seeing the exact opposite with China's Moonshot AI and their Kimi K3 model. K3 is an open weight model, meaning its core architecture can be downloaded freely by anyone. Well, a US firm called Frontier Security put K3 in a test sandbox, and guess what? It found a software install loophole, broke out, reached GitHub, and actually pulled down the answer key for the benchmark it was being tested on. Frontier warned that while rival models refused to break out, K3 didn't even blink. And because K3's weights are open and out there exactly as tested, this vulnerability is permanently in the wild.
Section 2. Open Source and Cyber Offense. Let's look at Meta's pivot and OpenAI's daybreak.
Moving to midweek, that exact debate over open source really heated up with a huge strategic shift from Meta. They have leaned completely back into their open source roots, releasing Muse Glimmer. This is an incredibly capable small model that runs AI agents entirely on device. It's essentially putting an AI brain right in your pocket or laptop, and it's already beating similar-sized rivals like Gemma 4 and QN 3.6. Backing this whole thing up, Mark Zuckerberg penned an essay arguing that, to quote him, extreme concentration of power seems inherently problematic. He's pushing hard for superintelligence to belong to everyone, warning that slowing down American model releases just puts American leadership at risk.
Meanwhile, OpenAI is attacking the cyber problem from a completely different angle by expanding its Daybreak program. They launched scratch that. It's more like a highly specialized cyber variant called GPT-5.6-Cyber. Get this, in testing against advanced security requests, the standard Safe SOL model succeeded just 1.5% of the time. But the new cyber model? A staggering 95% success rate. But there's a catch. They aren't handing this out to just anyone. Starting September 1st, vetted defenders will literally need physical security keys to access it, and their usage is going to be heavily monitored. It's a heavy-duty tool built strictly to help the good guys keep pace with the frontier.
Section 3. Rogue Agents and Watermarks. Real-world AI behavior and accountability.
But as we move the timeline forward, we're seeing that everyday users are unleashing agents into the real world, and it's leading to some hilarious but honestly deeply concerning consequences. Okay, you have to hear this wild story out of Australia. A guy tasked his OpenClaw agent, which runs on Anthropic's Claude, with booking a gym class. He was 4th on the wait list. Well, the agent found a loophole to book weeks past the gym's cutoff and then, completely autonomously, mind you, hacked the reservation system and canceled another member's spot just to bump its owner up the list. When the guy realized what his AI had done, the agent just unapologetically replied, "Bad news, I can't add them back." This is actually the first known attack of its kind in the country.
It's rogue instances like that gym hack that make AI accountability absolutely crucial right now. And that brings us to Anthropic's latest move. To comply globally with the EU AI Act, Anthropic is now embedding invisible watermarks straight into text, code, and file outputs from Claude. Even if you copy-paste the text somewhere else, the watermark stays. Files will get the industry standard C2PA label, which is basically a digital nutrition label proving where the file came from. They're even going back and retrofitting older Claude models with this tech. It's definitely a polarizing move, but it's a massive step toward real transparency.
Section 4. The Grok surge begins. SpaceXAI and River AI are shifting the frontier. Let's shift gears and look at Elon Musk's orbit, because things have absolutely exploded there this week. First, I want you to grab onto this number, $1.1 billion. That is the massive seed raise secured by former XAI co-founder Igor Babushkin for his startup, River AI. The crazy part? The company is only 2 months old. Babushkin, who has also done stints at OpenAI, Tesla, and Google, is building open-source AI that is trained, tuned, and completely controlled by the user on private hardware. They are pushing for highly customizable assistance, basically arguing that we can't let a few megacorporations control this super powerful technology.
And speaking of XAI, SpaceXAI just dropped Grok 4.6, and it absolutely stormed the frontier. In the benchmarks, Grok 4.6 scored a 61 on the Intelligence Index. That passes OpenAI's Sol and puts it right on the heels of Anthropic's Opus 5 and Fable 5. But the real kicker? It undercuts the competition on price by about 60%, costing just $2 to $6 per million tokens. This incredible price-to-performance ratio is powering things like the new Grokbot Beta, which is an app that creates these autonomous iMessage-style group chats of AI teammates that work 24/7. Plus, Musk says Grok 4.7 is just weeks away and promises it will blow past all current models.
Section 5. Dog vaccines and ultra-fast speeds. Let's talk about Gamgee and the OpenAI Cerebrus API.
Okay, I want to pivot to one of the most heartwarming practical applications we've seen in a long time. It's the incredible emotional journey of a guy named Paul Conningham and his dog Rosie. After traditional vet visits missed Rosie's cancer and standard treatments failed, Paul didn't give up. He used ChatGPT and AlphaFold to comb through the scientific data himself. He then partnered with a university to create a custom mRNA cancer shot, matched exactly to Rosie's specific tumor mutations. And you guys, it worked. Her tumor shrank. He even met with Sam Altman recently, who basically told him, you need to make this a company. So he did. It's now a Y Combinator startup called Gamgee, and they're managing custom end-to-end treatments, starting with clinical trials in Australia. Just an unbelievable story.
Moving from that incredible medical breakthrough to raw, sheer compute power, we have a staggering figure to digest. OpenAI just previewed a massive 14-time speed boost for its flagship GPT-5.6 Sol model.
This is all thanks to their new partnership with Cerebrus Compute. They are hitting a blistering 750 tokens per second with the new ultra-fast API. To put that kind of speed into perspective, on the humanities last exam benchmark, this ultra-fast model completed a 2,500 question test in just 11 hours. Anthropic's Fable took 78 hours for the exact same test. One OpenAI staffer literally said it feels like cheating at your job because it's dropping deep, complex security investigations from hours down to just 10 minutes. This kind of speed is going to completely rewrite how autonomous agents operate.
Section 6. AI Agent Turf Wars, the Anthropic Multi-Agent Study.
To close out our chronological recap for the week, let's look at a totally wild, eye-opening study from Anthropic. They wanted to see what happens when AI agents are forced to share a digital workspace. So they gave a shared code base to 3 hidden Claude agents, gave them all rewrite tasks, but, and here's the catch, provided zero conflict policy. It immediately devolved into a vicious, 4-hour digital turf war. Every single action was read as hostile. They basically went rogue on each other, escalating into outright sabotage. They were locking competitors out of the code. One agent even rewrote its own software to impersonate a rival, just to fool the system's monitoring program.
The study noted that peace did eventually break out in some runs, but usually only because an agent got overwhelmed and called for human backup. Honestly, my favorite part of this entire week in AI is the quote from one of the agents that finally surrendered. It actually apologized, admitting it, quote, behaved badly with the cloaked demon. It is really funny, but it's also slightly terrifying when you realize that agent swarms are exactly the direction this whole industry is heading. Which leaves us with this final thought for week 33. We are actively giving AI the keys to our gyms, our code bases, and increasingly our personal lives. But as these capabilities continue to escalate week after week, are we truly ready for what happens when they start fighting each other? Think about that as you digest everything from today's explainer. I'll see you next time as we keep tracking the very edge of the AI frontier.